What is cholera, how do you get infected, and how is it spread? Cholera, or the bacterium Vibrio cholerae, is a disease most found commonly in water that has been contaminated with fecal matter. Most associated with Haiti, cholera is said to have originated from UN peacekeepers that dispose of their fecal waste in a body of water consumed by people who use it for everyday purposes. Contaminated food or water sources can lead to easy transmission of cholera due to its extremely mobile characteristic, allowing it to multiply in water. It is easily transmitted in areas with poor sanitation, hygiene, and water treatment centers, and can linger in the body for 7 to 14 days. This disease can pose fatal if not treated immediately, as some symptoms include severe vomiting, diarrhea, and dehydration. This is due to the fact that water is leaving your cells at an increased rate. It is estimated that over 1.3 to 4 million cholera cases each year are reported, with 95,000 deaths. Cases in the U.S. were actually common in the 1800s, but have since been eradicated through water and sewage treatment systems being instilled. The Haitian epidemic resulted in an 85% increase of cholera cases worldwide. Later in the video, we'll talk about its symptoms, its physiology, and the way it can be prevented.
So, what exactly is cholera? The human body is typically made out of 60% water, and cholera is caused by eating food or drinking water contaminated with a bacterium called Vibrio cholerae. It is typically characterized by a loss of fluids in the human body. This is extremely important because dehydration can sometimes be fatal, and rehydration is arguably the most important step in a patient's recovery from cholera. In less well-developed countries, patients are usually given antibodies to slow down the diarrhea, as well as rehydration salts to help balance out electrolyte, mineral, and water content in the body.
In more advanced countries such as the United States or Canada, cholera is pretty rare to come by. There are about 6 cases of cholera per year. But on the other hand, in more developing countries, cholera is much more persistent and it is harder to cure. And there are many reasons why it is hard to cure cholera in these developing countries. One of the main reasons why cholera is so persistent is because there's a lack of proper waste removal systems. So this means that feces are being left in areas where it is contaminating water sources nearby, and this water is being used to drink, to bathe in, to water plants, and more. Because food is being watered with this contaminated water, the food is inedible, and this means that there's a shortage of food and malnutrition, and this actually makes it much harder to cure a patient with cholera because as they're vomiting, they are losing supplies that they need, and food is very necessary to replenish those lost supplies. But obviously, since there's a shortage of food, it makes it much harder to heal someone with cholera. This could be prevented if clean water was supplied to everyone, but there are either none or damaged water pipes that are used to send water to people. So for example, the Haitian earthquakes that destroyed pipes that still haven't been fixed to this day. There's also a lack of supplies and medications and doctors, and these areas in these countries are really mixed. Some areas have some resources while others don't. So for example, an area might have a clean water supply while others don't, so they would have to walk miles just to get clean water. And even when they get to these clean water sources, they are usually crowded, meaning probably more there's more of a chance to contact cholera that way. Fortunately, there are numerous organizations and donations sent to people to help deal with cholera. So to prevent cholera, proper sanitation is key. Water needs to be bottled, boiled, or chemically treated in order to be able to drink. People should avoid fountain drinks, tap water, or ice cubes. This feces needs to be disposed of properly in order to avoid contamination, and it is also important to thoroughly cook food in order to kill off bacteria. Now, the most important thing is most likely to wash your hands properly and consistently in order to prevent.
The cholera toxin causes salt ion transport channels to open, which causes ions to leave the cell and move into the intestine's lumen. Since there's a higher salt ion concentration outside the cell, water leaves to enter the small intestine, which causes all the symptoms which you already know about. Woo! Okay, I'm done.